welcome back to another episode of Knights of the Awkward Table. It's your man InhumanLine, and today I'm joined with
Leek,
Tron,
and we are grateful to be here with you. And grateful that you are here as well. It's been kind of a interesting week. Not much has been really going on. A couple big things dropped, I guess, within our respective categories and stuff. But before we get into all that, Sir Frenchie is not here with us today. He has some things he has to go get done. So much love and shouts out to him. But also with that, are also helper with our production. She is also not here as well. So we still have the one man army back there, which is.
Yes, here.
Shout out to Zay being here with us.
So many names, they don't know what
to
use.
It's
a struggle every time.
But as always, we're just gonna keep it pushing and we're gonna keep working as we always do.
Alright guys, well, it's Tron here. I've got some movie news. First I want to talk about Ryan Coogler. He came out with a statement about why he turned down his Academy membership. He says, I don't buy into this versus that. I love movies. For me, that's good enough. If I'm joining an organization, it's going to be labor unions where we're figuring out how to take care of each other. And I was like, thank you for saying that, OG.
Yeah.
Leek, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about the statement?
What was he going to join?
The Academy.
What's that?
So the Academy Awards, like the Oscars and stuff.
Yeah.
There's like a board basically of people that vote on it. So he was going to be one of those people that vote on the movies and stuff like that. So he basically was saying he don't want to get into all that. He don't like the this versus that. He's trying to find. He would figure out a way to for all of them to help each other. Mm-hmm. It'd be more a community type thing than like a versus thing.
I think he dodged a bullet.
Yeah, for real. But I wonder. It's a little bit curious to me too because Ava DuVernay joined that joint.
Who that?
She's the black director. She directed Selma, A Wrinkle in Time, 13th. That's a documentary on Netflix. Yeah, that's really.
That's all that comes off the top of the
head. Yeah, top of the head now. But those are those are big movies. Selma's a big movie. But yeah, I think that was really important for him to say. I appreciated him saying that. Speaking of Ryan Coogler, who's also the writer and producer of this next movie, finally, I've been waiting for this for a long time. The Space Jam trailer dropped. The miraculous Space Jam trailer dropped. LeBron James teaming up with the Looney Tunes against the Goon Squad. The Goon Squad is apparently 3D versions of hip hop, not hip hop, say hip hop. NBA stars. What's her name? Taurasi.
Diana Taurasi.
Taurasi. Sorry, Taurasi. What's his name? Swish. Bucket. Klay Thompson. Sorry, Klay Thompson. Because I'm trying to think of the other names. Klay Thompson, Anthony Davis. Yeah, Splash Game. So yeah, I thought it was dope. For all those who haven't seen it, it looks very well.
It truly does.
Because I think it's dope how this is so different because he's in the Warner Brothers universe. Yeah. So then you see all these, you saw King Kong, people have been pointing them out on Twitter, all the Easter eggs. There was the Clockwork Orange bulls that wear the all white. They was in that Game of Thrones dragon. Was in that joint. Flintstones, Scooby-Doo, it goes on and on. But I think that was really dope to see. Another tidbit for that is Zendaya is the voice of Lola Bunny. To all those Zendaya and Lola Bunny fans, I think that is pretty dope. Pretty dope joint.
Yo, you know what's crazy about Zendaya is I never really everybody. I don't know why, but so many people were like, "Yo, she's this amazing actress." Da da da. And I was like, she's a good actress, but I don't see why people are throwing her up there.
Yeah.
But again, personally,
she could beat her though. She's on her way there.
She definitely.
And I like her choices. I like seeing her do the Spider-Man Jones. Then she about to do Dune. And then she's doing. I like Euphoria. I like her choices. Her choices is very tough, so I can see her.
I think personally is also because I never got really into Euphoria, so I never really got to see more of her. Mm-hmm. But as seeing her in different roles, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to see more. I do feel as though some people did just kind of jump the gun early and just say like, yo, she's like an amazing actress. I'm like, we didn't have much. We only had a sample size of like her acting ability.
She didn't really carry a film herself yet.
Yeah.
So, but
I mean, even at that,
track record is still great.
Her as MJ, we're not gonna say Mary Jane, but as MJ in the Spider-Man movies over there, what was because her name's not Mary Jane.
Yeah.
And but my friends call me MJ, and I was like, all right, I see what you're doing. Right. But like even at that, like when you get to see her role a lot, like you see her whole character change from what was it, Homecoming, and then Far Away from Home. In Far Away from Home, you get to see a lot more of her, and she has a lot more screen time. And then I think the very last scene where you see both her and Peter like swinging through the city and stuff, and you kind of get that whole Tobey Maguire feel and everything and stuff. And I was like, I get it now. Like I get why, because she truly is just a likable like character. No matter what role she plays, she's just likable all the time. So I was like, I do kind of see why people did jump the gun a little and be like, yo, she's.
I would put her. I always my dream cast. Well, I want to do a movie with Childish, Issa Rae, and Zendaya in the movie.
That'd be nice.
Like that would be so much fun to me because I'm such a fan.
You saw Issa got that deal?
Yeah, Issa got that Warner deal. That Jones fat.
Yup, it was like a 5-year deal or some shit.
Which is very dope. Shouts to Issa Rae, proud of her, man.
Hell yeah.
Dope stuff.
And at that, it's not even just her, it's her company, her production company.
Yeah.
That's the best part about it because now her production company has a lot more shit on paper.
Truly big inspiration. What I'm gonna say, hopefully I'm saying this right. Please do not kill me. Steve Ewan. Don't know if I'm saying it right, but he played Glenn in Walking Dead. He he's Minari movie that's being big right now on the Oscar circuit. He's in that. He is in talks to join Jordan Peele's next movie, which already has Keke Palmer and has Daniel Kaluuya circling the role. So, yeah.
Kaluuya's a fucking blessing to Hollywood right now, bro.
Oh, God. Dude is murking the game.
Murking
the game out here. Knives Out. If anybody's a fan of Knives Out.
Shout out to Netflix.
Netflix is in talk to pay $400 million to develop 2 sequels to Knives Out. Original director Ryan Johnson is returning, and Daniel Craig will reprise his role, and it will be new cast. So Jamie Lee Curtis and all their characters won't be in this one. So I think that's exciting. Knives Out was a really good movie.
$400 million?
Yeah, they
get on that production, bro. Like what?
It's crazy though because like Netflix is saving so much shit.
Yeah.
Season 3 of You's coming out I think next week.
And Netflix, I apologize because man, I had y'all. My bid was y'all was gonna be bankrupt and y'all within 6 years. So y'all here, y'all about to be one of the top big studios soon. So
here to stay, bro.
Hey, Black Mirror, bro. They can control the future.
So yeah, man. Listen, big ups to Netflix. Can't stop, won't stop.
Like the season 3 of You, I believe, is coming out this Friday, I think, or next Friday. That show was a show that was, I believe, on
season
Lifetime.
3 of You.
Yeah. You ever seen the show?
The Stalker John?
Yeah.
That John Ben came out.
No, it comes out this Friday.
You talking about You?
Season 3,
the Netflix show. That John was nutty.
Oh boy.
Not
to a lot of women.
Yeah,
exactly. That's why I'm like, y'all don't think this nutty? This grown ass man is stalking.
Well, you know, it's.
I know, cause he
even
pretty.
Women's psychology we can get into, but.
Oh no, it's not coming out, bro.
That John was crazy. I'm like, y'all like this?
I couldn't even watch that show like that.
Really, me neither.
I don't know.
I did not watch the second season. I barely got through the first season.
I guess so.
I'm like, what? This is creepy as shit.
That
y'all like this?
It's not coming out in April.
Yep.
But alright. I guess. Let a nigga do that in real life.
Oh, delayed. The COVID delayed it.
Oh, it got delayed again?
Yeah, and they haven't been filming since.
Damn, that's crazy. I could have sworn.
Apparently it started in November, and I didn't finish it.
I could have sworn it was coming back out. Anyway, whenever the fuck it comes out and stuff like that, the whole point of it is basically you started off as a fucking, I think it was like
Lifetime
right?
show. Yeah.
And I believe I think a year after it released, they sold the rights to Netflix. Went on Netflix.
The pilot didn't do well.
Blew the fuck up.
It did.
And
Netflix audience is a lot darker than Lifetime.
They contacted the creators like, yo, listen, we want a season 2. He was like, for that old thing? And it's like,
Shit,
yeah, motherfucker, we're looking at these numbers.
Right.
We need a season 2, and season 2 blew up even more,
I
bro.
didn't even see season 2.
Season 2 is Yo, when you finish season 2,
I'm not.
no, watch it. Trust me.
I'm not. That shit is creepy, bro. I cannot watch that.
Yo, watch it.
I can't watch a grown
Watch
man
it.
be pretty much a
Watch it.
rapist.
He's not a rapist.
I mean, he like one step away.
No,
By
no,
today's standards,
no,
I'm
but
pretty sure he is.
the thing is, like,
Isn't it sex by coercion?
well, at that he doesn't sleep with. Well,
No.
in season 1, yeah, that's a little creepy. Oh, but no, like he does not cross that line though. But season 2 though, yo, when I tell you that shit gets wow, like, it's amazing. You gonna like it. When you finish it, you gonna be like, all right, I want to see season 3. You not, I promise you will never see the ending coming.
You know, when I watch that, you already know what I'm about to say next.
You went ahead and watched One Piece after? Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I say, you know, when I watched that, you know what I was about to say when he finished One Piece. I think he didn't got finished. You just get
You won't
to,
be able to finish it.
Yeah, he won't be able to finish it. Not for years.
I won't start that shit.
Damn.
Shit trash.
How many episodes are up to now?
Over 900.
2 different
Hold on,
answers.
is it audio kind of?
Over 1,000.
Okay, I thought they
Yeah.
said 100,000.
I was just
Oh,
chilling.
no, no.
I heard 1,000.
Oh no, yeah, no, because I said I said over 900 and he said over
I'll watch it
1,000.
when I retire. Okay.
Everything, right.
I don't think I'll ever have any time unless it's done.
But yeah, no,
1,000,
like
maybe.
but
sometime.
for,
I don't
for
know.
like Netflix is just fucking killing them, man.
No.
They're just doing their thing. So
And,
shout out to them for helping save certain shows.
Last but not least, Tron is gonna give his review. So it's time for the review at the
Oh
end.
man,
No.
It's like, no. But no, it was a great movie. Godzilla vs. Kong release is smashing the box office right now. Clap for it. Shouts to Adam Wingard, came in and murked him. He's the director, by the way, sorry. I'm a film nerd, so that's what I do.
fucking nerd. Meanwhile, we over here talking about anime and shit.
But yeah, no, it was a good job, man. I don't want to spoil it for nobody. No, the guys saw it, but yeah, it's very. I highly recommend.
If anything,
see it on the biggest screen that you can.
Spoiler alert! If
it's
anything.
if it's not the movies, at least some flat screen. You got to go over your friend's house, find one. You got to watch it there. It's a good job. But Tron's gonna give it a.
Good sound system as well.
Tron's gonna give it a.
If you have a great sound, that's the person's house to go to.
I'm going to give it an 8.9. Now here's my 8.9 because I was talking to Zay about this yesterday.
You can't give him a 9.
I want to, but it's only because I was talking to Zay too.
That boy 10th away from
Right, they just can't get the one.
The humans. I was some parts I would take the humans. I would take the humans out. I would take the human scenes out. But I wouldn't. The only humans I wouldn't take out was the ones that was dealing with Kong, because that made sense.
Yeah.
Now the little girl. I mean, it was cool. You know, I was entertained, but yeah, I could have did. You know, the whole thing about
one day.
Millie Bobby Brown, her running around. Yeah, that was funny. Don't get me wrong, that was funny. Like Brian Tyree, from Atlanta, Paperboy.
Yeah.
He was funny, but could have just did a little without and more, monster. I really wanted to see, because in the trailer they talk about there was a war. Nobody mentioned the war in the movie. I wanted to see a flashback of the war.
They showed it, but they didn't
They
talk about it. They showed it though.
I don't know. Maybe I'm asking for too much, but I wanted to see. But
that's
not why I give it 8.9 though.
Can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Did Kong beat Godzilla?
No.
Oh boy.
Godzilla won.
Okay. Did Kong beat Godzilla?
Now Kong did save his ass.
I've actually been battling with myself for this the whole time, because I was like, this boy really was
technically lost, bro.
I think he lost too.
He lost that jump, bro. Come on. But he saved his ass. I will say he saved his ass, but it wasn't him whipping his ass. It was the Mecha Godzilla that came and helped him. But yo, the first time, I'm sorry, Godzilla won. I didn't want to admit it too. I'm sitting there like, damn. I'm asking them like, damn, y'all, like, he really. They look at him, yeah, bro. Look at it. He fucking lost. I'm like, damn. I didn't want to believe it either, but.
Honestly, he lost that joint.
He lost that joint. It's cool.
He didn't
I fuck with both of y'all. He didn't submit.
He was the only.
That nigga was tired.
That didn't submit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He roared right back in his face.
Yeah.
He said, I don't care your foot is on my chest.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah,
so,
I like that.
I give Kong that credit.
Yeah, mad credit. Shouts to Kong.
But didn't Kong get tranquilized though?
No.
Was that it?
That was way before.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
before.
That was the
yeah.
first fight.
That was when he was on
Okay,
the
yeah,
boat.
yeah,
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why I was like, I'll give
He was
that
tired.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I give him that one too.
Yeah.
He was sitting on the boat, drugged up, high and shit, you know.
In the middle of water.
Yeah, it was a water fight.
Yeah, it was a water fight.
Yeah.
It wasn't fair.
I mean, I say he definitely gave a way better showing.
Yeah,
Saying
yeah.
it's okay.
Well,
He came through
even
it.
at that, I feel like just the overall fight, like I enjoyed it a lot.
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
and stuff.
that shit was
Like,
great.
That shit was great.
Yeah, that shit was.
That was popping.
Yeah, I mean, you say you get an 8.9.
I agree with that.
I mean, I'll probably just give it just like a
Flat
flat.
9?
No,
A flat 8?
I'll probably give it a flat 8 only for the fact that the whole like Millie Bobby Brown, like her whole scenes,
Yeah, it
that
was-
shit kind of just
it
like
was unnecessary.
it deaded like the whole feeling of everything that was
Yeah,
happening
momentum.
before and
It
after.
definitely did.
Now
yeah.
I understand that like you needed that to explain the whole Mecha Godzilla shit. Oh my god! But then again, it's like, oh yeah, we're just gonna pour this shit on top of the computer and it's just gonna fuck up
Yeah,
it.
they did that.
And
I
I'm
was
like,
pretty irritated.
bro, really? That the whole point of them getting the sample drawn or whatever is so that the Mecha Godzilla could literally be sustainable.
Oh,
Right.
That was the other thing I was gonna say. That shit, when they were copying the thing over, that was ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
What type of fucking computer
Right.
is gonna
That
copy an energy
SSD, bro.
signature? They talking about this is energy we can't get. You gotta go all the way to Middle Earth to get it. Then they get there. Yeah, we're just gonna basically Xerox this shit, send it back up to you, and then you're gonna power something.
It's that
from
magical
something
PlayStation
you-
5
What?
SSD, bro. That shit just that shit was like, here you
What
go.
type of- we need to do a movie just on that tech, because I need it, okay? Fucking copying shit.
I'm gonna give it just a flat 8 only because like I do feel that I was completely pulled out of the movie. Now, granted, yes, that I do understand that was part of the time of like, okay, here's the comedic relief,
Yeah.
but it's more like, yo, listen, I don't really need this.
No, you
Like,
didn't- you
like,
didn't
It's an
really
action
need it.
movie.
Yeah, like if they would have pulled a fucking Zack Snyder, Josh Whedon, and just like just completely removed that shit for the movie, I would be like, all right,
Yeah.
I wouldn't
like-
argue with you.
yeah. I mean, like we knew that the fucking Mecha Godzilla was already fucked up, so even if they didn't show the computer getting messed up, and he would have like just glitched, I would have been like,
Yeah.
all right, cool. Like the boy literally said, hey yo, we haven't ran a test on this yet.
Right.
So I was like, yo, that I would
That
have
was
been like,
enough explanation right there.
yeah, I would have been like, all right, cool. This motherfucker has a quick little, like twitch and everything. I'm like, Godzilla's like, all right, I got you. Fucking Kong jumps up like, all right, I got you too. It's like, I understand it. So I'm gonna just give it a flat 8, but. Fucking HBO, please fucking fix your goddamn drawing. Your service should be more than enough wells to handle all the motherfuckers that are gonna go. If you're gonna put a fucking big ass blockbuster movie like that, fix that shit. That shit was annoying. But what are you giving it? You dropping a 9 on it?
I wasn't ready to rate it. I wasn't thinking.
Fucking raise a 9. No.
I don't know. I don't rate movies. I guess I'll give it a 9. No, I'll do an 8.5. You did
8.5?
8.9. You did 8. I'll go right in the middle. 8.5. I'll give it 8.5.
I mean, it's technically not right.
Okay. 8.45.
Closer. I like it. Well, yeah, no, it was good.
Pass the baton. Thanks for coming to Films with Tron.
Alrighty, now we into the video game section. I'm gonna go ahead and start this off with I guess you could say like a soft review of Outriders. Now Zay was pretty much like, yo, I'm just gonna wait because the whole like server issue and everything. So like,
Turn me
yes,
off.
during the demo there was huge server issues because they were not prepared for the massive fucking traffic that they were about to hit their servers. They did not get fucking ready for the launch of the game. Because a lot of people just held off just not playing the demo because they wanted the full fucking launch of the game. And their servers got hit hard. It's also, I think a big, a big issue that happened was because it was available on Gamepass. Those who had Gamepass, you didn't have to pay the $60 for it, or I think it was like the $70 for like the fucking, whatever it was. The $60 for the game, you had to pay that shit if you had Gamepass. Just boot up the fucking game and you straight. I don't think they were ready for that traffic and people who had already purchased it. Because them servers just shut the fuck down. Now, I do have to say, I did experience a lot of server issues. I think for the first, 3 weeks that the demo was out, I couldn't connect to it at all. Finally, I was able to connect and everything, got it through. During the full game release, I'm seeing everyone talk about, I have server issues, da-da-da. But I'm also seeing that fucking Outriders is breaking, all these fucking records for concurrent players. So I'm like, obviously, the server issues isn't as mass spread as I think Twitter's trying to get you to think.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's Twitterverse, so, shit always seemed bigger on there. But me personally, I have not had any issues playing online. So, take that with a grain of salt and everything because, again, this is just my experience. Yours might differ, so I'm not sure what's going to happen with anything else. But, soft review so far. If you like Gears, you like the Destiny like feel to stuff and everything, it is a looter shooter. It is a complete looter shooter though, so it's not like Destiny in the sense that give it 6 months and now you gotta fucking drop another $30-$40 for another update. No, it's not like that. You get the full story, full game and stuff, and it rewards you for everything. You got different world tiers and shit, so the more you level up and stuff, your world tier actually levels up too. And if you ever feel that your level is too below the world tier, you can always drop your world tier down lower to make it easier to play. So that's cool. And what I was not expecting is they said all your saved data from the demo goes to the game, full game. It does not actually take into account all the missions you did. So you have to redo the missions again. I was not expecting that. So I was doing all these other side shit and everything. I was like, oh, let me just head into the next main story quest. And I was like, I did this already. But by that time, my world tier was already higher, and I was like, wait, no, this boy actually stronger than I remember, so I'm fucking running around in circles and shit. But it is an extremely aggressive cover shooter, but you never want to be in cover for the most part. Like, I only jump into cover if I'm reloading or some shit. Other than that, again, I'm playing as a trickster, and I need close range damage to regen health. So I gotta be up on you, so I'll carry a shotgun and an assault rifle, and I'm just going to fucking, one of my powers is I could just like blink behind you and shit like that, and I'm behind you, I hit another joint, I slow down time, and then I'm just fucking you up. Any bullets that come in, hit them. Yeah, any bullets that come into that bubble, they just stop. So I just like fucking like circling in circles, fucking above, and all right, cool, let me run out for his bubble disappear. But if I had to give it, personally, I'm probably gonna hit it with a 8 as well as fucking Godzilla's King Kong, only because I do see that a lot of people are having server issues with it. And also, the controls do feel extremely loose. I don't think it's kind of like, it's connected to like a feel of Gears only because it's a cover shooter. Gears did not make itself to be a very loose mechanically stuff, to be a fast pace. The reason why it is a fast pace is because the mechanics just allow it to be. So jump into cover quickly, jump out of cover, jump in and switch and everything. It allows you to do that extremely fast. In Outriders, it feels like they try to force that a little. They want you to just run fast, dodge, get in cover, got it, and it feels a little bit forced. And I think that's also the part of the reason why the cover system actually just fucking blows. It's really trash, which is the reason why I only use it to fucking reload. And if I ever do need cover because my health drops really low, I'm standing behind a pillar or some shit. But I'm never going to be leaning on something because that just fucks up the whole flow of it. So I'm going ahead and give it a 8. But again, I have not finished the main story, so I can't really judge on that. But the story missions so far are cool. The boss fights are different. And really, how do you say? They're kind of straightforward, except for this one boy that he has like this firepower. He's like a pyromancer and shit. He starts summoning like fucking fire tornadoes and shit. And they just start following you. And he summons or he basically like he kind of like summons like more enemies around you and shit. But again, the only way that you can heal is killing enemies. But the only way that I can heal is killing them close range. So I gotta be up on them, but as soon as his health reaches halfway, he stops summoning them. So now I only have this little sliver of health all the way at the end. That's the only thing that regenerates. It's a tiny ass sliver. So I'm fucking hiding behind cover, jumping out, shooting everything. He hits me once, I'm like, fuck, I need to get behind cover. It's like that. So it's stuff like that. But yeah, go ahead and give it an 8. Saying that, we'll go jump into basically, when people say basically competition breeds competition. That's what's happening now. So we talked, like I literally just mentioned, Outriders coming out on Gamepass. That is a Xbox/Microsoft service, in which it allows you to pretty much is like your Netflix for video games. You also get discounts on video games as well, up to like 10 to 20% off. You also get discounts on the DLC for those games. As well, on top of that, you get Xbox Live if you have Ultimate. You get Game Pass on PC if you pay for Ultimate, as well as xCloud, so you can pay all the games on Game Pass, or for the most part, most of them. You can also play them on your phone, tablet, or whatever. You can stream them. So you get a lot of stuff incorporated with Game Pass, as well as EA games are now on there. And they also just picked up 2K21, so that's on there now and stuff. So pretty much you have also FIFA. So you have, for the most part, the whole lineup of all sports games that are currently out, for the most part, are on Game Pass. So it's probably the best way to play all your sports games. All this, and everybody's been asking, what is Sony's response? What is Sony's response? And Sony is doing its best to kind of stay away from that. But then recently they announced, oh no, we're going to have our response to Game Pass. before they didn't really see it as lucrative or sustainable, and now they're actually realizing, oh wait, nope, it kind of is. It's a constant money like service. It's just rolling the fuck in. So PlayStation Now had announced that they're bringing 3 games now to PlayStation Now, and those 3 games are The Long Dark, Borderlands 3, and Marvel's The Avengers. Marvel's The Avengers also just had an update. Please, if you have played it on PS4, the only way you can carry over your save data is launch the PS4 version. If you want to play it on PS5, you gotta launch the PS4 version. On the home screen, you can actually save your data to the cloud.
Yeah.
You gotta do that. Close the PS4 version out. Launch the PS5 version, and then pretty much download it there and stuff like that. So please do that and stuff. Do not start a new fucking game. If you have Xbox, they have what's called Smart, whatever the fuck it is. Basically, you just launch the game and the system sees what system you have, so it's automatically just gonna carry over. It's gonna take, like I say this, you don't have to worry about that. And our PC, it's fucking PC, so just launch the goddamn game too. But there was an update that came. They brought some new new skins out and stuff, and again they put it behind the paywall. So you pretty much is like $14, $15 and everything if you want to get these new skins. So a lot of people are kind of mad about that as well. And also Assassin's Creed Valhalla, they started reskinning a lot of the same armor sets and reselling them for the premium currency as well. So these companies are just doing this now. They're like, hey, listen, we're just going to keep it quiet and just do this and then charge you more. And then they're also, oh yeah, don't forget Black Panther's also coming. So, pay more fucking money. And they're like, they're trying to force you. They're trying to force you to get back in it just to play it. I also feel it's kind of like a low blow just to like, listen, you know how we feel about this shit. So they're kind of pandering, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Just money hungry period. But Marvel's The Avengers, Long Dark, Borderlands 3. Personally, out of those 3 games that are coming to PlayStation Now, I'm more excited about Borderlands 3. For those of you who like RPGs, that would be more of a game that you should really jump into. So yeah, this is pretty much Sony's response now to like, okay, we see that Xbox is making moves and stuff, and one of the biggest hits that it happened I think 2 days after we recorded last episode. MLB The Show has been a PlayStation exclusive. It was announced last year that it was also coming to Xbox, and then it was just announced. Not only is it a big deal,
That's a big deal
here's
for
the
baseball players.
Here's the biggest deal.
Because I used to play that shit religiously.
Here's the biggest deal right now. 2 days after we recorded, they announced, oh yeah, not only is it coming to Xbox, but day 1 of its release is coming to Xbox Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, you don't even need to pay for it now. You just go ahead and launch it on Game Pass, and now you have it. It's it's kind of crazy because not only was just a PlayStation exclusive game, the game is literally developed by a first person studio of PlayStation, of Sony. So it's like their own thing. So it's the craziest thing. You fucking launch an Xbox game and now you're seeing like PlayStation Studios. You're like, what the fuck? But this is also, PlayStation needs a response. So this is kind of their rollout, I guess, of them starting to respond, say, hey, listen, don't forget, you're getting shit too. As well as this month's games that are coming out, you have Days Gone and some other shit. Me personally, I just care more about Days Gone because if you haven't played it, it is a pretty decent game. But this is kind of just getting into the bullshit now. It's that it's kind of a tit for tat now. It's gonna be here. We have this. We have that. We have this. We have that. And if you're a gamer, it's good because again, competition is just breeding more competition. So I do see that I do feel as though Sony's going to continue to respond or bring more games, have day 1 things. Apparently, the next Final Fantasy, that game's going to be exclusively on PlayStation for consoles, but it's also coming to PC. So it's like Xbox is not going to see that. We don't know if it's a timed exclusive or not, but we do know upon release it is just going to PlayStation. So things like that, these are the responses that are coming in within time and stuff. Saying that, we're going to go into 2 topics that are going to solely lead into Leek's whole section because these are things that are going on more within, I guess you could say, the business side and stuff and revenue and money period within gaming. Mobile gaming market is expected to grow 63.66 billion USD between 2021 to 2025. That's a lot of fucking money, especially when you're just talking about just mobile gaming.
I'll be 30.
Expected to grow.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
So
2025?
Yes. I'll be 30. Damn.
So and that's from now to 2025, and that's just
25, relax.
and that's literally just only mobile gaming. We're not talking about other stuff. And you know, I also had talked to Zay before. I never realized how big mobile gaming was or how serious it was until I started playing like was it Call of Duty Mobile? And then I'm looking for like, you know, like certain guns that are better. I'm on YouTube scrolling and I run across this motherfucker that plays with like fucking 8 fingers on an iPad and shit, and he's literally like this whole time, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And he's losing his mind with 8 fucking fingers. He's like, oh yeah, sometimes I throw in
life.
Yeah,
thumbs.
He's like, sometimes I throw in 9, and I'm like, a 9 finger.
Sometimes I throw in 9. You asshole.
Yeah, I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? But like,
fuck you, pal.
Yo, like just mobile gaming stuff, and there's even like mobile gaming leagues.
He's got 1 step.
But you know, it's stuff like that I see, and I'm like, oh shit, like it's actually really serious, and it's getting bigger, and it's only getting bigger, which is also a reason why Xbox is doing the whole Xbox what's it called, xCloud shit, because they want you to be able to stream your games to your mobile device and everything, and your tablets, because they see that Xbox doesn't really have a market in Japan. And China and stuff like that, because Sony pretty much runs that stuff, and aside from that, it's also mobile gaming. So why not just say, fuck it, that phone you already have, here's xCloud, all the games that we have, go ahead and just stream them to your phone.
Yeah.
So I'm like, bro, like
After every market.
yeah, like you're literally touching across the whole fucking world now.
Yeah.
So you know, saying that, like I just
the mobile gaming is huge. I used to be a huge proponent of mobile gamers. I remember
he's on that Subway server.
I remember one game. It was like Mafia City or some bullshit like that. I don't know. It might have. I know Mafia City just because of the name, but I don't know if that was a game. But it was something like that where it was like a turn-based Mafia game. Bro, when I say I like finished the game and got the last level, like niggas would buy that level. Like, I was playing it that fucking much. That's how much I used to play that a lot.
Dedication.
It was another game. Dedication. Like I understand the mobile gaming.
Dedication.
A mobile gaming fiend. Because I used to be one of them fiends. Even though I never got into Pokemon Go.
I never got into Pokemon Go too. Well, no, that's bullshit. When it first came out, I was definitely into that shit.
I wasn't into it.
Remember Pokemon Coliseum?
Oh yeah.
My cousin had that on GameCube. Loved it.
That worked, man.
64. I had that on 64.
Some of my favorite game experience.
Yeah.
Super Mario Galaxy.
Oh,
Super Mario
actually,
Sunshine.
yo, before I get into the last topic, Mario, 3D Mario, whatever the fuck it is, 3D Mario, whatever it is, it was a collection of Mario games, and let me see if I can pull this up right quick. 3D Mario.
You know Mario was originally called Jumper Man?
Yeah.
One of the kids told me that today. He was originally called Jumper Man.
Same
That's
as
the name of the
same
game.
as Mega Man. His
That
name
was so
overseas
sad.
is called
So sad.
Jumper Man.
Yeah.
They had to change that. Yo, bro, let's go play some Jumper Man.
No,
Like,
But I mean, no, but it makes sense. Like, why? Like,
yeah,
alright,
it makes
that's
sense. It makes sense.
They just needed further ideas.
Yeah,
to come
Comes in
through.
every second. Just hopping. So
Because he is Jumper.
he's Jumper Man.
He's
Definitely.
definitely a Jumper Man.
How you kill the Jones? You just
Jump.
Hop right on top of him.
Alright, so Super Mario 3D World was released, and this it had fucking it had Mario 64, and what the fuck was a Super Mario, and I forget what where the fuck is it? Oh my god, it was a fucking collection of 3 goddamn Mario games. Whichever the fucking games were in it and stuff. Was they just actually kind of took it off. So I don't know if you started seeing the things that were saying like rest in peace Mario and shit like that.
Yeah, I saw that last week.
Was because like you can't get the game anymore. Like the
Yo, essentially.
well like you can't get the game anymore. They took it off the shop and stuff. And they already said that
To them, he is.
they had already said that like, yo, listen, like this game is not gonna be like this constantly like, you know, just out there and stuff, because it is 3 Mario titles just in one. But you know, again, they also didn't really do much because what was it? It was Super Mario Galaxy, Mario 64, and I fucking forget the fucking third game. But yeah, that game is no longer available. and it kind of fucking sucks. But you know, I was also one of the few that like.
Moral of the story.
Yeah, moral of the story is that like it's no longer available. So if you wanted it, it's just gone. So apparently now the fucking sales for like if you had any codes for it and everything, they're going up in price. Physical copies of it are going up in price. I had already bought my girl a physical copy of it. At Target, they had only like 2 copies left. Like on the release date, I was like, oh shit, I'm grabbing it now. Yeah. So what you call it? Yeah, it fucking sucks. There's no longer available for those who really wanted it. But you know, if you had it, you got it and everything. If you don't, then fucking go on eBay and find a fucking code, or get a physical release. The last one was a topic that is gonna really just segue into our world news because it has a lot to do with that. The world's biggest cheating the world's biggest cheating ring as it comes to fucking like hacks and shit like that, you know, whether it be in Call of Duty or anything and stuff. It was taken down by the Chinese police in collaboration with Tencent. For those of you who know Tencent, you know that they kind of just running shit. And they're going to be coming here to the States and start running shit over here too if you do not be careful. But yes, so in collaboration with the Chinese police and shit, they went in and they shut the shit down. These motherfuckers are making $10,000 a day. Damn. And that's with monthly and actually daily options for subscription services. God. So $10,000 a day and everything over the course of 30 days, you know. Go ahead and do the math. They're making a lot of fucking money and shit. So you can only
a lot of fucking money.
So you can only like guess, you know, how much annually they're making and shit. And that's what roughly like fucking 76 million or some shit like that.
That's what they said.
That's what the headline was saying, 76 million. What the fuck? They said, and the funniest thing again, this also connects to the story that I just said because they said a large portion of it too was also mobile gaming cheats. Mm-hmm. So it's like, yo, like you mean to tell me that even these mobile gamers are fucking losing their shit and doing all these cheats and hacks and stuff? I get pissed when I fucking run into like a goddamn rose skin and I don't see them, so my immediate reaction is this motherfucker cheating. But it's just this like this bitch ass boy just chilling in the corner and everything, and so he's just standing there with a rose skin, and I'm just like, bruh, come on.
I'm not gonna lie, I adopted the rose skin.
Fuck so, I did too.
I run the black ghost skin. I won't go as far as the rose skin.
I adopted the rose skin. I'm not even gonna lie.
To me, rose skin is black space, but you know, I understand how the darkest character in the game be a white woman, but whatever.
Hey, shit, I mean, they have the African bull of all the Mexican shit, so it's like...
he's got like all the... If he just spends all his summers in Mexico, they just say
yeah. Fucking, isn't Mara supposed to be like Hispanic or whatever, but the actress that plays her is white, and I'm just like, bro, what's going on?
Gods of Egypt.
Yeah.
That was reckless.
I could not watch that. I could not watch that.
But saying that though, what this whole thing with cheats, I do have to say, ever since they actually busted them and shit and shut that whole shit down, I actually been running into a lot of less cheats.
I noticed the difference.
Yeah. But again, I actually haven't been on the game in a couple of days, so you know, who knows? They probably all back. But saying that, I'm gonna go ahead and throw us into our biggest conversational section.
Welcome actually dancing to the...
I was like, is this thing just like faded out?
Welcome. Welcome to the news rap part.
Hello, news rap.
Hello. Alright, so we're gonna start with something a little less conversational. We're gonna get
I thought you were about to start with a song.
So I don't know if you guys remember from last week, and maybe the week before too, we were talking about the new voting law in Georgia. Yeah, but it's I guess it's a good thing. It's not a good thing, bad thing, depending on how you take it. The MLB actually pulled the All-Star game this year out of Atlanta in response to the voting law in Georgia. So,
wow.
I guess it's a good
people
thing.
Care.
Some people care. Yeah. Trump said boycott baseball. Obama praised it. I'm not gonna lie, if I could get like a 30-minute daily dose of just Trump talking shit, I would watch it.
Yo, for real.
I would watch it every day.
Yo, I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna lie.
Didn't they say that he's actually trying to work on this?
Makes not sorry because that's very entertaining.
Yeah, I would love to see. Just watch him talk.
Watch the fuck out of that.
That should be hilarious.
I'm sorry. Can you curse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry. I'll make sure anytime I upload a video that I always click not for children.
Viewer discretion is the best.
Actually, they actually just changed too, like some of the fucking ad laws or the ad fucking policies that apparently you're allowed to curse. I don't know if it's taken effect yet, but
That's what's up. All right, so LG, y'all all know LG, one of the pioneers in the smartphone game.
R.I.P.
They dipping out. They dipping out the smartphone game.
Wait, who?
LG.
They dipping out the.
They dipping out the
Life's
smartphone game.
good.
Just smart fridges now.
Just smartphones. They still had their company, but they
No,
just don't have
LG still has their hands on a lot of shit and
Smart
stuff.
fridges.
I mean, they even fucking.
They said we done with the smartphone. They said it's too competitive. They wasn't. I mean, they not. I get it. They ain't had that big of a market.
Alright, so are we going really into it? Alright, let's.
Oh, I got you. I'm
Okay,
gonna set
go
you up.
ahead,
Set you
go
up.
ahead.
So they
Because that's some
expected to
bullshit.
be
It's not that
done.
competitive.
They expected to be done by July 31st.
Yes.
And they said they want to focus on growth areas. So they said electronic vehicle components, smart home, robotics, artificial intelligence, and business-to-business solutions. But the reason that they said they left is because the smartphone game is so competitive. But
It's not.
It's not.
Okay. But it's not. All right. So it's competitive, but not competitive for LG. Okay. If this whole podcast could simply just be about mobile fucking phones, it would. All right. But we got news to give you and make things informative for you fuckers. So therefore, we're not gonna make this about mobile phones. So let's fucking get into it. Alright, many years ago, LG had a line of the G phones. They had the LG G1, LG G2, G3, G4. G4 was the last great G phone. G4 was the one that had the leather back, the double stitching in the back. Fucking amazing. Then they released the G5 and said, let's start experimenting on one of our main lines of fucking phones and fucked it up, alright? They wanted to go modular. The G5, you could pop the bottom out.
They started doing all that goofy
bro,
shit.
if you remember back then, cell phones actually took a while to actually boot up after you turned it off. You turned it on and you'd sit there, your fucking drawing was off, and it went up. Well, LG had the fastest booting phone that booted up, I think it was in like 20 seconds.
that's like a fucking
Nail.
Yeah.
20
But
seconds.
back then, that was the shit. And they had little things, I think they were called LG Friends. It was little attachments to make your phone modular. They had one for a camera. They had all different types of shit. Yeah. Well, they fucked up the G line because nobody wanted that. Especially, I think it was later that year or the year after, fucking Ashton Kutcher got on stage with Motorola because he's also a big camera guy and stuff as well, and he also uses a lot of cameras and shit like Motorola shit. He got on stage with Motorola and they presented the Motorola Moto Z. I think it was the Moto Z, and what it had 16 pins on the back, and there were magnets, and basically it could magnetically attach any modular thing. And the whole time they were poking fun at LG. They were like, "There's no boot up time. It's as simple as," and they just snapped it on and stuff. You had, if you wanted a different back cover for your phone, you could pop it on. If you wanted the phone attached, you could pop. Had all different types of shit. But what happened was the mobile market did not want modular stuff. We were interested in it, but it was not adopted because it just was too much at the time.
They made it too easy for Apple and Samsung.
Too easy.
Too easy.
Because they pretty much. And the crazy thing is too, Samsung's known for experimenting with ideas, but they don't go that drastic into changing the whole fucking thing.
And they do it on the,
they know what their main
shitty. They do it on the shitty modules. No disrespect, Samsung. I like Samsung, but they do it on the shitty modules.
But not even that. Sometimes what they do is if they have something that they have an idea, what they'll do, they'll throw it under A model of phones, like the Galaxy A phones. They'll okay, let's test this out here. And so the A line is bigger in other parts of the world and stuff like that. So let's test it out here. Let's test this market and everything. But
Samyang is the what's that company? Highest? The Chinese company, they're real popular smartphones over there.
Xiaomi?
Maybe. They're huge. All of them are phablet size. It's like Samyang or Shangrong or some shit like that.
I know what you're talking about. Begin with an S. I don't know the name.
With an S?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
But
But
I know what you're talking about.
But Samsung does a lot of experimenting. Think about on a lot of Samsung phones and everything. You have the edge, how it's curved around.
Mm-hmm.
That all started because they released the Samsung Galaxy Note Edge. It was a special edition when the Note 4 came out. They had the Note Edge, only one side was curved. And it was supposed to be, here's for productivity, because you could swipe it up and you have an edge display and you have a bunch of quick things and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The now Edge panel is just a normal thing on all Samsung phones.
Yeah.
So
I don't even use that.
I don't use it either.
Yeah.
I still have it on my phone and everything. I don't get it. But, as time went on, LG kept just trying to experiment with shit. They released the V10. The V10 was the first phone that I remember that actually had a notch on it. So you know how a lot of the new iPhones and everything, you have the top notch, your camera and everything. The LG phone they were the first ones to do that. The V10 had a notch and it was at the top left corner and stuff. And they released that and I was like, okay, the V10 is probably going to be the new product line because I don't even know if LG released the G6. Whatever it was, the G line was finished. Finito after the fucking G5. That shit was garbage and shit. So after that, they just kept on experimenting. Let's just throw this out. We're going to put money into designing this, throw this the fuck out there. No, don't do that. The smartphone market just wanted cheaper but better. That's all they fucking wanted. Over time, Apple's like, okay, we have a crazy prices. Let's drop them slightly down, but then take all the phones from last year and drop those prices dramatically down. And so you can still get a last year's phone, but at a good price. Right. Samsung said, you know what? Well, we're just going to also start making cheaper phones and everything and stuff, but make those cheap phones better. At the time, OnePlus was also just booting up and everything and getting shit rolling, and then you start hitting like the OnePlus 5T, the OnePlus 6T. Once the 6T came out, it was over for any person really trying to get into like the mid-range mobile market because they were just running shit. LG was still the fuck over here experimenting. And then, I think it was last year or the year before, they released the LG Velvet. I thought this was LG's comeback. I truly did. I thought this was now, they're going to be like, yo, we're going to, here's how cool the phone.
Is that the one that could turn into a tablet?
No.
No.
But, wait, you talking about the...
They got phones like Iron Man suits.
Bro, you remember those old fucking phones when they first said, hey, you can watch live TV on your phone?
Yeah.
That it was like you had the phone, but then you turn it sideways, but you still hold it down there?
That's what I'm talking about. What's that?
I forget what it's called, but they released that shit. Nobody wanted it. Why? What's the point? It was stupid.
It was like for such a niche purpose.
Yeah.
They designed a whole phone around it.
And their whole thing is because, Samsung's like, hey, we're going to release the Samsung Z Fold, the Samsung Fold phones and everything. Those that, they're small phones, but then they open up into a tablet size and everything. Everybody's like, oh, shit, like, this is huge and everything and stuff. But everyone's not running to go get it. It's still just a small audience for it. So now you got LG again, who's just like, okay, well, let's continue experimenting. And it's like, no, stop. People know what the fuck they want. Right. They're not going to buy your goddamn phone. What you could do is scale it back. What's that? That's the fold phones. Yeah, that's the bullshit. The LG Wing. Dumbass phone.
Didn't they make a curve drone too?
The LG Flex.
Had like
the LG Flex.
Yeah, they literally had Iron Man 3 as a company.
All they had to do was literally just keep making great phones, which is what they do. All their phones are always solid. And at that, LG is a perfect Android entry phone if you're gonna be switching from Android from iPhone to Android.
I agree.
If you're doing that, because their normal software thing is the same way that how on iPhones all your apps and everything is just on the screen. You don't have an app drawer. LG, by default, that's how it is. You got to go into the settings and change it if you want to have an app drawer. So they're trying to make it an easy transition. And all they had to do...
two phones?
No, it's one phone. It just flips inside.
Bro, I've been looking at this shit for a minute.
What? Infinity suits
so it just two?
Yeah, it just flips.
That shit kind of hot though.
It is, but how
that's
much?
That's a lot though.
Like, you do that
that's
every
a
day?
Lot. Yeah, I was about to say that's a lot.
See?
Bro.
Bang.
Bro, and that's the issue that you start running into is because
Ferrari's
now you have
cool. You're not gonna drive a Ferrari every day.
Damn, they just trying to look like two phones. It's confusing me.
But it's also just gonna. But them. I really wish they just would have scaled back. Said we're not gonna make premium phones. We're gonna make mid-range phones. Yeah. If they would have did that, they would have actually had still like a fighting chance to get back into the love of just everybody. But unfortunately they didn't. So, But they also make phone components for everybody else. Like they also make some iPhone displays and everything and stuff like that. But now that contract just fully went to Samsung, so Samsung's exclusively going to be making the iPhone screens. So they lost that. That was probably the nail in the coffin. It really was. But R.I.P.
R.I.P. You was talking like you got LG stock.
I was pissed, bro. No, because I love LG so much, bro.
It was definitely personal.
It really was. That was a hit to the gut when I saw that. I was like, don't do this to me, man.
All right, moving on to the next topic. These last couple topics, we could talk about if y'all want to. We could just breeze over it. I'm going to just say it. If y'all want to talk about it, we can. If not, you know what I'm saying? YG, excuse me.
And we're back! Right. So let me tell you about it.
So YG, his music has been banned on Apple Music, Spotify, and YouTube.
Oh no.
Now, when I went on YouTube, all his music is there except the one song, Meet the Flockers. On Apple Music, I couldn't find that whole album in general, so I think they took the whole album off. And then Spotify, my Spotify was acting dumb, so I couldn't log on. So I don't know. But the song Meet the Flockers, it was made in 2014, I want to say 2014, 2013, around there. The album My Crazy Life. And in the song, the whole song is a story. It's a story song, and he talks about him and his homies going to rob a place. Okay. And at the end of this song, he references, I forget exactly how it say, but basically he said the person that he robbed was an Asian person because they don't believe in banks and they're the easiest targets. That's why the song was taken off, because executives at Apple, Spotify, and YouTube were complaining about the Asian hate in the song.
How did they even find that, John? Like,
I'm gonna be honest. Like, I've never heard that.
But to be able to have the time. My thing is be able to have the time to go back to a song from out of a million songs. That's my whole thing. I don't know. I just don't have the time.
They were looking for it, man.
They were.
What do you call them? Jones? Ambulance chasers and shit like that.
Ambulance chasers.
It's uncomfortable take time.
Uncomfortable take time.
I'm gonna draw. All right. So something I noticed for the last couple of weeks on Instagram, especially. So if you go on your Explore page,
bro, that shit's sitting right there.
Yeah, so there's an AAPI little tab on the top right corner. This big section on the Explore page, right?
I'm about to go searching.
So stop Asian hate. That's always what's there. Okay, cool. Activism, whatever. But then what I started noticing, they started talking about
my bad.
This nigga had to like a pic first. That's why I'm like, what?
I'm fucking dumb.
Where is it?
So just go to your Explore page. Okay. It's gonna be top right corner. Should be this big ass tab that says AAPI or Stop Asian Hate.
Why yours don't say that? Because mine do.
Mine don't.
What's up with y'all Jones? Mine say it too.
They targeting.
Yeah, okay, now it did. This racial trauma and mental health thing?
Yeah.
Yours don't say that?
Here we go, hold on.
I look at too many ass
They
titties.
say,
I look at too many ass.
I'll show you.
We'll show you guys. Hold on, what's on my Explore page?
Okay.
Every single time.
Let me see if I gotta update my drawing. Because I don't
hate is a virus.
I don't let stuff auto
update
on my phone.
Anyway, so they put that up there. But something I started noticing is they, as activism is in this day and age, tied it to corporations and stuff like that. They started talking about brands and different things in terms of how you could support Asian people in terms of this racial inequality situation or the hate that they've been receiving. Now, if there's persecution, undue persecution, and injustice that's happening to those people, I'm all for them getting justice and everything like that. However, I think we're about to see something start to happen that's very unfortunate because it's a complex issue. One, I'll say this: the Asian community as a whole does not need money. They are the most affluent racial group in America if you exclude the top 1 to 3% of white people. Yes. Besides those people, it's the Asian community as a whole. You can look this stuff up. So, besides that though, what I started to notice too is that some of the news reports and different things that are coming up in terms of the activism are talking about how Asian people have been supposedly attacked by black males.
Yeah.
Now this is I'm not saying anybody should be attacked,
starting to push.
but this is a very complex issue because for generations now there have been Asian places of business in black communities that are doing nothing but soaking up money. They're not actively giving back to the communities, and oftentimes they're serving the people of color behind bulletproof glass. So there's already a racial buffer animosity now. So if we're going to start to kind of, and on another side, there's been the opposite, persecution of black people in those Asian stores in black communities, as goofy as that sounds. Hold on, let me get the name right. I want to say her name was Loretta. There was a girl that was killed by an Asian shop owner. She didn't do anything. Regardless, she didn't deserve to be killed. But something happened, and the woman killed her inside her store. And then another instance, tons of instances, people being attacked by Asian shop owners for supposedly stealing or being walked around throughout the shop. I'm sure a lot of people who are black or brown have experienced that. So I feel like it's a very complex issue in terms of there's probably going to be some conflict or issues arising between those two groups, because we have one group that is, I'm going to say it how it is, I don't really care, is preying on another group. If you're not actively giving it to a community that you're not really a part of, and you're just soaking up money, then you're a leech, straight up. And if you want to go as far as a world scale, macrocosm, there is a buffer ethnicity in Africa because of the gold trade. There's been enough Chinese people that have moved to Africa to export gold that there's now a buffer ethnicity of Chinese and different African groups that exist there. So the activism is a little shallow to me, because I feel like there's a lot of parading and flag, carrying going on over an issue that, in the grand scale of things, and I'm not trying to make light of those people that died, that sparked this whole thing, or any victims, but I'm not going to say that this is of the same magnitude of as what black people experience, or also I think on another bigger point, that there's a bigger thing going on in terms of the media, aka the most effective devil in America, needs to continue to get people upset and wave the flag of pretend activism in people's faces. So I think that they just switched from blacks to Asians, because we saw how Black Lives Matter went from a saying and a movement into a kind of corporate mishmash of foolishness. And even the organization, which I knew was phony from jump because it was started by George Soros, but even the organization, those leaders are now being, they're under harsh criticism because they have done nothing to help the families of the men and women who were killed unjustly by police. So I think activism is kind of the name of the game in terms of what the media wants to portray to us and make everyone believe or get upset about, so that they can control public opinion and interest. But that's my 3 cents on it. That's.
Well, I think that's interesting to go on, but my thing is that, like, when you start talking about like how, like, they're in the communities and stuff like that and they're not giving back. My thing is, like, even with all that, now with that aside, that's still, like, we're still talking though about, like, the whole conversation of, like, I understand the whole promotion of it pretty much. That's pretty much just what's going on now. They're promoting the activism and stuff. And it's really just kind of done to be like, hey guys, look what we're doing and everything. We're with you and da da da. But it still doesn't take away from the fact that these things are happening. And it is more of a, like, okay, what's the next coattails we can ride on? Kind of like we went through the whole Black Lives Matters stuff going on, and it feels like that's pretty much just what it was. This is what's going on currently. And then social media kind of slowed down the whole sharing and stuff, although, like, going out there and protesting, it never stopped. It's still going on. Mm-hmm. But because social media isn't, like, pushing it anymore and stuff as it was when things were, like, I guess you could say at its, like, most critical and stuff, and because the news isn't covering it anymore, it's kind of like, okay, listen, we need the next big thing, the next big, what do they call it? This is like just outrage.
The next big distraction.
Yeah. So, like, now it's kind of going into the whole issue because, like, I don't want to take away from the point, because you make all valid points, but I also don't want to take away from the fact that, like, this is going on. Like, it's still, like, literally up the road from my goddamn job and everything, there was the woman who was just, like, slapped in the fucking face. And then the bull just kept on fucking walking and everything. And, just, they caught the bull, I think, like, a couple blocks up and shit. And it's like, yo, like, this shit truly is just happening and stuff. And, yes, I am happy that, like, we are bringing a light to it. Because this is shit that needs to be talked about and stuff. But you know, like, give it a couple weeks, this shit is just gonna die down and just fucking disappear, and these issues are still gonna be going on. But you know, then it comes to like, how do you actually stop it? People are just gonna do what the fuck they're gonna do. So where you're just gonna have police at every fucking corner around the goddamn world and everything, just trying to like watch it. Nah, it's gonna happen. Now, if you want to talk about like, let's stop all the like, you know, hate and shit like that people are like spreading stuff online, that's different. Take that to whatever fucking online service you're using and everything and stuff. But you know, as opposed to the whole fucking stuff you're talking about, like,
black hate.
Yeah, well, I mean, but at that's never going to stop. Yeah. And I think that's the thing. People are angry people regardless. People are hateful regardless. So none of that stuff's ever going to stop. And I think that's the issue, is that I feel like now people are like, hey, we need to stop this, we need to stop that. But what they're not really telling is like, yo, that's never going to stop. It's just not. Yeah. I mean, it's wishful thinking, it truly is. But understand that wishful thinking is simply just wishful thinking. So although I would love if things like fucking like, you know, just wasn't like that, we're never gonna change it. And stuff. I mean, we can do our part maybe if we see like, you know, like our man's just a wild out, like, yo, like, relax, cut the shit out and stuff. But ain't nothing else we could really do about it. Now, I'm not saying that we don't, you know, like, we don't stop bringing attention to it. But my thing is, you know, when you talk about the whole Black Lives Matter situation, if they're not really helping out the family, I feel as though a big issue that I was saying with it, I was like, okay, listen, we're bringing attention to it, we're bringing eyes to it, but what next? And I feel as though a lot of times that we go on these, like, you know, or not we, but, you know, there's a lot of times that things are now being pushed in the media and stuff like that. They're saying, yes, this is activism and everything to bring attention to the issues that are going on. That's fine and dandy, and I love that, but the question never gets brought up of what next. And that's kind of where we're now at. Okay, listen, you have the attention. All eyes are on you and everything. We understand what's going on with Asian Americans. That stuff is going on. But what next? Well, you just want to go on a campaign just to make people aware? That's fine. But understand that bringing awareness is not going to change it. Like, think about it. The whole, like, when George Floyd had passed away. Or when he was murdered and stuff. That whole thing, it wasn't until the riots that things started to change. Now, I'm not saying you got to go out and fucking riot every time something happens to get a change and stuff, but nothing was happening really when the protests happened. They were like, hey, this shit gonna die down. And it wasn't until it picked up and the protests became riots and stuff, and they're like, oh shit. Oh, now people want to talk about change. Oh, now people want to talk about defunding the police. Now it's like, yo, like, the real question is truly just what next. So if you want to bring eyes to it, I am right here with you. I'm with it. Let's figure out, though, what is next, though. What is the next thing that we can do and stuff? And I'm not saying just go out and start fucking riding with the shit, no. But what I am saying is we need to have a fucking plan. So the Black Lives Matter stuff and everything, I feel as though a big thing that would have happened, if you're a non-profit organization, well, then what are you spending your money on? I don't know what they do, you know, as the ins and outs and shit like that, but I feel as though a big thing should have been, yo, listen, some lawyers take cases pro bono. You could have linked up with some lawyers and everything and be like, yo, and I'm not sure if they done this and stuff because I haven't looked into it, but they could have been like, yo, listen, let's help out some, like, some young black males and everything, young black women and stuff that is out there and stuff, and let's help them actually get a real good lawyer for some cases that honestly are just bullshit. Because you're going to get a public defendant and that's it, honestly. You get a public defendant, you're not going nowhere. Like, you're not going home. Like, you going somewhere, but you're not going home and everything. So my thing is like, you know, but again, you know, that goes into like simply like me asking like, what is next? If your whole purpose is simply just to bring eyes to the situation, that's cool. But don't get mad if nothing happens, if you don't see a change, because you yourself have not even planned on what's next. So go ahead and make that the next hashtag. Hashtag what's next, man. Like, fuck it.
Yeah. Any thoughts? You don't have to.
No, I was listening, y'all. I mean, not really. I mean, I agree with y'all saying. You know, I'm not that a deep of a person. I'm a goofball, but I do agree with y'all saying. This is all new information. I don't really, to be honest, keep up with that much stuff until I come here and talk with y'all. But you know, y'all helped me out. You know, y'all brought me to reality. Appreciate that. So I agree with y'all. Why does they sound like that? I'm just be real. I'm just be kicking real.
But
that was a good talk though.
All right, we're gonna move on. I think I got some. Yeah, we gonna move on. Just gonna keep pushing.
Sorry.
I don't want to say everything in front of the camera.
Oh shit.
That boy gonna wait to post to start saying
I'll
something.
say it to y'all. But,
Alright.
no, I'll say. I just don't think as a I'll put it like this: as a black man, it's hard for me to consider this a very important issue when my people have been brutalized and beaten and murdered and raped and shackled.
That's what I was sitting here saying.
Well,
I wasn't really joking. I'm saying like, well, stop black hate.
That's
sorry to
for
say
me.
that.
It's
Do
just
you,
like,
do you think that that's because because I mean, like, if you do have that site, there is a sense of you comparing the two. Do you think that maybe if you didn't compare the two, you can see that, like, hey, this is now granted, like, because with you saying that, it leaves a thing of like, okay, now you're comparing, okay, well, this to us and everything that's happening is worse.
yeah,
So therefore,
I
you
get what
can't
you're
see
saying.
that. Do you think that maybe there can be a point where you can actually just take this away and still like acknowledge the fact that this is still happening regardless?
I'm not saying this isn't a problem. I'm not saying this
Yes.
is happening. I'm just saying, like, for me to devote my energy on this, it would be like a disservice to my people. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's because.
Do you think that maybe there could be a point where you actually could?
Yes.
I'm not saying could as in create the disservice, but I'm saying do you think that maybe there could be a way that like you
Like, it could be important to me.
not important because I mean like important is just on how you just simply see things. But do you feel as though there can be a way of like you supporting like the stop the Asian hate and not take away from still supporting and everything the stop the fucking like black hate and just like black damn near execution that we're seeing?
Yes, I think I can do both, but the human brain can only focus on one thing at one time.
Yeah.
So if we all talking about stop Asian hate, what's happening to black people? And like you said, the Black Lives Matter movement was what, for maybe 3 or 4 years? What really fucking changed?
Yeah.
Nothing. So I mean, this is just the next hot thing, the next trendy topic.
Do you think that's also about like what I'm saying, the simple fact because the question was never asked? What's next?
What's next? I think it's kind of simple, if you ask me, for change to happen. And this is impossible to get every black person or every Asian person on the same board at the same time. But literally, if every black person, every Asian person, let's just say every minority, if we just stop spending our money on people who don't look like us and don't treat us correctly, I guarantee you some shit is going to change. Because you affect people's money, they're going to start moving. Yeah. So we just start buying from our own selves and our own people and people that look like us. Quick as day, that shit is going to change.
Yeah,
but I think also that goes into the fact that like now you're talking into just like individualism.
Yeah, that's what
because
I'm saying.
the issue is
no way to get all those people.
Yeah, like, you're never going. I mean, again, let's look at Georgia. How many of the higher ups that are actually in like that actually hold an office over there are actually black? And look what's still happening.
Yeah.
Look at how many people within the school systems over there that no, it is, but at the same time, is that again like that goes into speaking into individualism. Honestly, at the end of the day, it's not even going to matter. Like if we really want to change, it's not going to matter honestly on your race or your color of skin or whatever it is. It's going to just be on your mindset, and I feel like it truly all starts with just informing people.
I got only one counter to the individualism.
Okay.
And this is also probably not feasible too, but just imagine if the people who we look up to, celebrities, athletes, rappers, just did that shit. If they just created a movement, because that's a lot less people, so they could actually do that. Like the NBA could get together and do that. Rappers could get together and do that. Entertainers, whatever. If they just created a movement where like, no, we're buying from black people, we're buying from Asian people, we're buying from Spanish people. We're not dealing with people who don't treat us the right way. I guarantee you millions of people are going to follow them.
I mean, but they tried that. Remember when the whole Gucci shit happened? And they no.
Was it a good old effort, or did they really try?
I mean, but think about it. How many times, like, and again, this goes into the whole when you see the whole thing of like, yeah, your man's just starting his own clothing company and everything, and he'll be selling the shirt for like $25, but you rather go buy the Gucci one and everything, $50, and then ask your man's, hey, can I get a discount off because I'm your man's? And that's why I said like it's true like individuals because things are so high. I feel like now people are just truly like putting things like. And again, it's just people hold certain shit up here, which is the reason why when Bull said, yo, listen, I'm not going to join the academy and everything and stuff like that, like, that's a huge move, because now he's just taking the power away from that shit. He said, nah, I need a whole...
And exactly what he said about the this versus
right.
that.
But that's part of it. It needs, you need to go lay that first stone down. The issue is that some people are just going to be like that and be like, yeah, I like what you're doing and everything, but I'm still going to do this because the look is better.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like when you get into that, it truly is an issue now with just the individual person.
Yeah. I think it's simple, but it's not easy. Like, I think the solution is very simple, but it's not easy to do.
It is. Yeah, the solution truly is simple and just flat out and everything. The issue is now you're dealing with people that just have their own sites.
Yeah,
certain things.
A lot of people will just follow. Like, a lot more do you think?
No,
so
but that's true. But that's the issue that literally is going on. People are literally just following the wrong thing, though.
Exactly.
And so now again, that's why I'm saying I think it starts with the education and being informative on things. Because, like a lot of people that said, hey, listen, we need to, tax the rich more and everything and stuff like that, and redistribute the money into, the less wealthy and stuff. My issue with that is that a dumbass with money is still just a dumbass with money.
So why not tax this dumbass?
Well, I'm talking about redistributing to people who, don't have.
I got you.
So a person who's just going to blow their money on dumb shit and not invest in their future or invest in something that's going to help create even their future generation and everything, it's just never going to happen.
I know.
So, that's it starts with education.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about education within the school system. I'm talking about educating the individual.
Yeah.
And, listen, you have to understand that this is how certain things, the way you keep your money is not simply by just making more money. It's by actually making your money work for you and stuff. And that's why a lot of people talk about investments. And that's why, a huge thing that's going on with the stock market and stuff is now the people who used to be like, this is just way too in-depth, it's way too complicated to explain to you and everything, now those same people will be like, wait a minute, no, what are you doing? I told you this is too complicated. And they're like, no, we figured it out.
Right.
We figured out your game. And we learned how to do it with less money to then make the more money to then get to where you are at now and stuff. So it's kind of like that. It's just education. So if we, it truly comes into, when I say, what's next is, it truly is just the whole, congratulations, you brought the eyes to the situation or to what's going on. Now you need to educate.
Yeah.
And the issue with that is not too many people are receptive. And that's the problem. Some people are just stuck in their ways.
I agree, yes and no. But, yes and no. Yes and no.
Well, if you agree with her, then what's to know? What point don't you agree? Because I'm just simply saying that, listen, if you want to get everybody on board, they have to be properly educated on not necessarily what you're doing, but where you're going.
I don't think they need to know.
Well, no one's going to support something if they don't agree with it or they don't know about it.
People do this shit all the time.
Well, that's true, but again, if you're not telling them what's going on, they're not going to want to support it because they're like, nah, listen, I just think it's bullshit.
Well, put it like this: if we could paint a pretty enough picture, they don't need to know the truth, and that sounds bad and that sounds fucked up, and that's what's happening to us right now. Yes. But if it's reversed in a positive way, it could be just as effective.
Yes, but again, not all people are going to want to change. But again, that's what I'm saying. That you have
you don't have to get them all though. You just need a certain percentage. I don't know the percentage. I don't know the number.
Yeah,
you just need a.
But now you're playing into the game now of that. Listen, they're not going to focus on the ones that are working. They're going to focus on the ones that are not. So guess what? Now I'm going to put you on TV and be like, hey, yeah, this person wants this, but look at all these things. How many times have I said yo, Twitter? This is the Twitterverse. So it seems a lot bigger than what it truly really is. That's the game that now the media is going to play with you. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter what you're doing out here. Because now the media is just going to downplay what you're doing and upplay the opposite shit.
But that's why I'm focused on celebrities, athletes, rappers. Because the media can control that to a certain extent. But if you have people who have their own following, their own brand, their own name.
Yes. And
they're doing their own thing. They all on the same page. It's kind of not going to matter what the media is doing. Because Twitter, like you said, Twitter is its own universe. People have millions of followers on Instagram. People have millions of followers on TikTok. So it's not like people watching the news, especially younger people watching the news every night. They're getting their shit from Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of those, YouTube. So it doesn't have to be, I feel like we don't have to change the media. Just work around it.
Oh, no. I'm not talking about change because that's just ain't never going to happen. You ain't going to change the media and everything unless they want to change the shit. But what I'm saying is that if you want that support, because yes, there are going to people who are just going to be like you said, okay, you get the famous people. Those who support that and everything, they're just gonna support it. But how many people were against when Jay-Z said, "Listen, I'm working with the NFL now"? And people are like, "Yo, like you're literally like Kaepernick is trying to change this shit and everything, and now you're just joining forces." And then Jay-Z was literally like, "Yeah, but I think we're now past that and everything and stuff like that." And it pretty much is like that kind of. People just looked at it like, okay, now you're just shitting on what Kaepernick has been fighting this whole fucking time for.
Mm-hmm. But
so,
don't you think that helped Kaepernick's cause?
Personally, yes, but how many people were combative against that at first? But again, because the whole deal was not explained and it came out in little bits of what actually Jay-Z was doing, no one agreed with it at first. Or some people, obviously, because you're going to have it. But some people were like, no, but listen, you got to understand this is a business move. He's going to hold the seat.
Yeah.
So, like, whether or not, like, it was a good thing, I mean, it's still to see and everything. But, again, it's going to be like, you have to lead the person to the water.
Yeah. And
everything. And I feel as though that starts off with educating the person and everything. Now, again, if you're not against you saying everything, not everybody's going to go. That's understandable. But, okay, you have your cult following. If I can educate you and now expand that following, I mean, why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah.
And that's the only thing, because I know you're never going to get 100% of the people.
No.
You're never going to get it and stuff like that. But what I am saying is stuff, if you can still educate it and increase those followers, then, why not?
Yeah.
But
I think the what's the word?
It's a fight, though. It's going to be a fight.
Celebrities, but I think those I forget the word. It's another word for celebrities, but I think those people are important. Influencers? Not influencers. It's like people we look up to. Not influencers.
Idols?
Yes, idols.
Idols.
I think those idols are very important in making any sort of change.
Yes.
That's why I say it's simple, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
Because if you get the right people and a certain number of idols, you can control a lot of people.
Yes.
And the way they think, and the way they act, and the way they talk, and the way they walk. So that's sort of the education right there. It's sort of like a pyramid scheme. If you get the top guy at first, it's just going to trickle down to everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I get what you're saying. But yeah, no, it's definitely an interesting thing.
Yeah.
Good talk, though.
But stop Asian hate. But it's just not the first thing on my mind. Being honest.
Shouts to Ruby Ibarra, sorry.
Who that?
She's a female rapper. Pretty dope. She's Asian.
Okay.
I was about to say, I'm like, you just
you just
randomly throw that shit in.
Sorry, no. Yeah, she's Asian. She dope, though.
We got another time for one more topic.
I mean, yeah.
Probably not, but...
I mean, no, if we edit that whole intro, yeah, we got no time.
Alright,
we just cut that whole anime shit
out.
Yeah, if we cut that whole anime shit out, we should be safe.
Alright, last topic. So, Russia is amassing a large military presence in the Arctic.
Why is that?
And they say for the trade route...
Superman's spaceship is over there.
They say it's for the trade route because a lot of the northern ocean, the northern coast is melting, obviously. So they're saying soon there's going to be a water shipping route from Asia to Europe, like where if you ever know where Greenland is, it's like a big ice wall, and it's melting, and that gap is going to be there soon. So that's what they say. Other people don't think it's trade routes. Some people say it's military. I did read this missile was crazy. I just had to show you. So apparently they have an unmanned stealth torpedo, right? So nobody's in it. It rides on the seafloor to wherever it goes to coastline. So whatever coastline is going to, and they said it's basically going to let out like nuclear tsunamis when it's going to hit. Like this shit is going to be inhabitable for decades. I don't know why I'm smiling at that because that's fucking crazy, but that shit sounds crazy.
So is it like remotely controlled or something?
It's remotely controlled.
So they got a fucking
on
Tesla.
The seafloor.
They got a Tesla shit down there.
The what's it called? The javelin missile?
Yeah.
Jesus. So like that, but
on the sea. On the torpedo, yes.
Completely.
They got a fucking Tesla torpedo down there and shit like that.
To just smack tectonic plates. You don't even need to blow up a city.
Yeah,
man. You just have the ocean do the work for you.
Bro, that shit, I mean, like, this is... So, the thing is, because of the fact that technically no one, I guess you could say, owns that area.
Russia's trying to rush to own that.
Yeah, that's
definitely
pretty
trying to
much
rush
what
to
it
own
is.
that.
Because they're like, hey, listen, this is technically uncharted waters, for lack of a better phrase. Yeah, no pun intended. But it's like, it's, I mean, aside from it being Russia, it's smart though. I mean, it's strategically
It's
just
definitely
smart and everything.
strategic.
Because if you can, what the fuck?
That y'all crazy.
So like, if you can own that shit and just like, nah, this is ours because we were here first. It's kind of like the whole rush to colonize Mars and everything. Like, we make the rules here and there and shit like that.
At that point, you heard about China?
No, what's China?
They're trying to claim the dark side of the moon.
The dark side.
Right now?
They
Like,
want
already?
to. They're saying if they get there,
If they get there
they
first.
get theirs. Yeah.
I mean, if they don't freeze the fuck over there, sure.
Die.
Or
you
find
get eaten.
Decepticons.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Decepticons chilling up here.
Funny enough, the humans from Marvel and everything, they actually live on the dark side of the moon. Funny enough, like that's actually where their whole like.
It
trope
is?
like,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I didn't know that. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
That's how they say undetected.
That's interesting.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Shout out to them.
So this is the trade route that they try to open up, cause this
All the way
this
up there.
wall
Norway.
this wall of ice was there, and apparently it's supposed to half the time the Suez Canal takes to get from Europe to Asia.
I mean, honestly, business wise, that is just.
Ice walls.
Yeah, no, bro. Like literally, like it's just smart.
It's smart business.
Yeah.
It's smart military too. I mean, if you're trying to blow up America, send a couple of them missiles right across the sea because you're kind of close now.
Yeah.
Hit New York, Florida,
That
hit
shit
the
is-
whole East Coast. Shit, you doing something. That's all I'm saying. You doing something.
Hey, listen.
Shit, I'm on the East Coast. Don't hit the East
I was
Coast.
about to say, yeah,
But we on the East Coast.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we-
that does put them closer to us.
Yeah,
Yo,
man.
go back to
go to the other
California.
side, yeah.
I used to seriously love when it was California and like, I was always being threatened. Like, go back over there. Come on, who the fuck's closer on over there? Is it China that's closer on the other side?
I don't know.
Who the fuck's closest on my geography all fucked up and everything? But that's America's fault, all right? America literally puts fucking the North America in the middle of the fucking map, like
Which is
map.
not true.
Yeah,
It's not true.
yeah, like they're so fucking selfish when it comes to this. Like,
I'm trying to look up an actual world map because I was looking at it the other day.
our world
Talk
map's
about the
literally.
Mercator map?
Yes. How you spell that?
MEC or MERC ADOR, I believe.
You forgot to see. There you go.
That's not it. All right, but that's all we got for news.
You said Marcata?
The Mercator map. It was this guy, and he would place traditionally whiter European countries as larger and towards the more center of the map.
I didn't Russia big as shit.
No, that's not.
Yeah,
Like they would make South
Yes,
America
this, like
and
this,
Africa
like
smaller.
this.
Here we go. Yeah.
But no, that's not even it because America's not the center of the world. We're the center of the world.
No. They just would twist the map to
Yeah.
make it look that way.
I'm gonna find it.
Whatever it is and everything, let's get back to like California fucking being the one that's
Well,
not
I'm
us.
dead.
Wow.
I would much rather the West Coast and everything than us. You know?
Sorry, Compton.
Sorry, Compton.
He said Compton. All the other.
If you could just
It's
break
in
half
there,
of that California shit off
specifically
and like the tectonic,
Yeah.
rip California away from us. That's
Yeah,
cool.
that's crazy. It's fucked up. It's like fuck everybody else. Compton.
Was that it? That was the
We
last
all
topic.
survive.
Yeah, that's the last topic. That's the last
Alright.
topic overall.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
we've been running for a while and everything, like an hour and 45 on some shit.
Good luck
But,
saying
you know,
other than
We're
this.
gonna cut it.
It's
Yeah,
not our longest episode though, so
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
we
is-
definitely had like a 2-hour one. which
Yeah,
is
well,
crazy.
we're gonna go ahead and bring
Yeah,
it to an end.
damn.
Is there anything else? Anything else we want to
He
throw?
looked at me. No, sir.
No?
No,
Anything
I'm
else?
good. I'm good.
Anything else?
I'm good.
Alright, cool. Gotta make sure, you know, because
What?
that means.
Right.
I just found out the worst news that they're making while we sitting here. I get updates, so I found out the worst news is they're making a Peeps movie.
Like
Animated.
As the
Like
candy
a
peeps, the
Like
candy
an
marshmallow
animated,
shit?
animated movie with Peeps. So.
Listen, man, that emoji movie is fucking trash. Let's just stop.
I mean, Sony redeemed themselves with Spider-Verse, so I'll forget about
that a
the
different-
Emoji movie.
Oh, okay.
No, it's Sony Pictures animation.
All right, it's like that. No, that's
Well, we right here though, right?
yeah. But we're not.
So then,
that
like,
big,
whoever's
bro.
here is just closest to here.
Like in actuality, these two are like Not even as big.
Okay,
as
but
Russia.
what's closest over here?
We're fighting over maps.
I guess it'd be Asia.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So like, Leo, like, get there first, Asia. Like, before Russia. I don't like us being
I
here.
mean, they gonna blow us up too. What you mean?
I mean, yeah, but as long as it's on the East Coast, I guess they'll recover. That's Silicon Valley over there in the West. Like,
Everybody hate America, man. I don't blame them.
it's just shit. The East hate the fucking West. Anyway, we'll go ahead and bring this episode to an end. Zay, much love. I hope you have very fun editing this one. But I want to thank my fucking panel and also production for being here. This cannot be done without them, or at least it'd be fucking extremely difficult to be done without them. So, you want to go ahead and give a goodbye where they can find you at?
You can find me in these streets. I'm a weak.
You can find me in these streets.
Name where they
Let
can
me
find you at,
stop.
brother.
That's not real. That's
He
not
still
real.
hasn't made a fucking Twitter or Instagram.
Yeah, nah,
Using
so-
fucking company profiles, so fucking whatever.
Yeah, it's the company profile.
Expose.
If you want to go
You're
there.
gonna go what they find you at?
Instagram and Twitter at Lewis Tron, LEWIS, Tron TRON.
No doubt.
Voices_studios.
Alright.
Yeah, and Wildcard Comics on Instagram. Check us out. Got comics dropping every month.
Wildcard
starting-
Comics spelled with an X. Comics is with an X.
Yeah, sorry, comics with
Not
an
a
X.
C and an S because he doesn't know how to
Armpits.
spell.
No, I got that from Captain Underpants.
I know.
Oh.
We've had this conversation
Yeah.
for like over 10 years.
Once a year.
Not because somebody. I'm sorry, because somebody always says that and they try to be smart, and I'd be like, well, I got it from somewhere. So
Yeah, Zay, go ahead and let them know who you is and where they can find you at.
Zay from Aphos Images here. Yeah. Zay from Aphos Images here, and my @ on Instagram is Yeshayahu with underscores. So.
Alright.
spelling.
How you spell that?
Spell
They gonna spell it like Yahoo, bro.
Definitely gonna
YAHO.
spell it like Yahoo.
Yeah.
So,
Who is this guy?
_A_YAHU. Okay, that's on Instagram. 3 Eyes No Lie on Twitter.
That's
Alright.
the best, Sean.
And you know, it's your man InhumanLine. You can find me on various social media platforms at InhumanLine. InhumanLine, not inhumane. Inhuman line.
Very important distinction.
Illiterate ass motherfuckers. Much love. I would like to thank y'all one last time for coming. Please like, subscribe. If you wish, at the bottom of the video, go ahead and comment while you're listening to this. I mean, it's the end, so you kind of fucking done already.
I mean, you made
But-
it this far.
yeah.
You're a trooper.
If you made it this far and everything, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And thank you.